Welcome back. It's Ed Martin, president of the Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. Great to be here. We still have some work to do on Mrs. America and explaining the facts. So please make sure to like this and share this and subscribe right down below. We want to spread these videos as widely as we can. And please visit realmrsamerica.com, realmrsamerica.com, and see all the different resources that tell the truth about Mrs. America and what happened back when Phyllis Schlafly beat the ERA and made Gloria Steinem a little crazy. You know, recently, Gloria Steinem gave an interview, and it was one of these virtual interviews where she shared her feelings about the $50 million superstar-studded Hollywood production, Mrs. America. And if you watch this $50 million production, you saw Gloria Steinem, the actress, portrayed with all the right clothes and made to look good, and all these great things about her. Here's the real Gloria Steinem being interviewed. And even though the series, Mrs. America, was very pro-ERA, Gloria Steinem called the series ridiculous. That's her quote, ridiculous. It sounds like when you listen to Gloria Steinem interview just weeks ago, she sounds a little jealous that it made Phyllis Schlafly look too good and too successful and too downright effective, as Ronald Reagan called her, at beating the ERA. Let's listen to Gloria Steinem in her own words just a few weeks ago.
For instance, there's now a kind of a very not very good series here called Mrs. America, and it gives you the impression that a woman named Phyllis Schlafly, who was a very religious and right-wing woman, opposed the Equal Rights Amendment. It gives you the impression that she was the reason it was defeated. Mm-hmm. In actuality, I don't believe she changed one vote. Nobody could ever discover that she changed even one vote.
Phyllis Schlafly didn't change a single vote? That's what Gloria Steinem just said? I mean, get real. Everybody, historians on the left, the right, the center, knows that the movement that was put together to oppose the ERA changed the course of history. It didn't just change one vote, it changed millions of votes. It changed elections. It changed history. Gloria Steinem is she's actually what you'd call a textbook sore loser. When we teach our kids about how to be a good loser and a good winner, Gloria Steinem is a textbook sore loser. And it's even worse. She didn't like the fact that she lost. And so from one of the very powerful, successful women, who Gloria Steinem's supposed to be about empowering, and thousands, really millions of women who aligned to fight this, Gloria Steinem wants to take away the credit. You know, it almost seems that Gloria Steinem is embarrassed. She's ashamed that she got beat by a woman. She's actually really sounding sexist. Wait till you hear not only how big a sore loser Gloria Steinem is, but how she has a claim about who was behind the great success of beating ERA. You won't believe it. Gloria Steinem, she sounds pretty sexist. Listen to this clip just a few weeks ago. Gloria Steinem describing what went on right here.
Mm-hmm. In actuality, I don't believe she changed one vote. Nobody could ever discover that she changed even one vote. The insurance industry here opposed the Equal Rights Amendment because if they stopped segregating their actuarial tables, it would cost them millions upon millions of dollars. Wow. She was just the sort of, public, that's brought in at the last minute to make it seem that women were against equal, which actually the vast majority of women always supported the Equal Rights Amendment. Now 90% of us support it. We still don't have it.
Now, Gloria Steinem, she's many things, but not very creative when it comes to excuses. I mean, to explain away how the ERA was defeated, even with 3 presidents on board and all of the big newspapers and television programs and the evening news, to explain that away, she comes up with a secret network of corporate executives, of the insurance industry, men who shot it down. And what did the men do in the insurance executive, this cabal? They went out and they decided they'll get a woman and put her in the front. Gloria Steinem has offered not one bit of evidence. If there was evidence of the insurance companies, of insurance company leaders investing in the defeat, in the opposition, by now, all these decades later, with all the attention, the Ruth Bader Ginsburg work on it, Gloria Steinem work on it, Betty Friedan work on it, Bella Abzug work on it, all the work on this fight, we would have had evidence that the insurance executives, as Gloria Steinem tells this story, that they were involved. There's not one piece. There's not even an article written about that conjecture at that time. No evidence of secret corporate donors. If you want evidence that Phyllis Schlafly was the key to ERA's defeat, you can look at just about every news article from that time. You can look at every textbook written since that time, even by the liberals. They acknowledge the power of Phyllis Schlafly and her army of grassroots conservatives. You know, even the people that don't agree with Phyllis, and there are many to this day, they will admit that ERA was defeated because of her and her leadership. And here's another lie that Gloria Steinem told, and feeding this out into the media and into the world and to young people. You could hear the interviewer with Gloria Steinem going, "Oh, tell me more." And here's a lie. It's a total lie. Gloria Steinem said Phyllis Schlafly wasn't brought in at the last minute. Phyllis Schlafly was fighting for almost a decade. She was fighting before states took up the ratification. She was fighting years before the famous Congress, the International Year of the Woman Conference in Houston, Texas. Phyllis was in from the beginning. Gloria Steinem is lying, and she's trying to do it to diminish another woman. If you want to hear about shady donors behind the ERA fight, don't look to the insurance industry and some secret donor group that Gloria Steinem can't even identify, not one piece of evidence. No, look at the feminists where they got their money. Not only did they get millions of dollars of taxpayer money that was appropriated and spent. No, they also got tons of money from other organizations. Many of the corporations and organizations anti-women, including the most famous one, which was Playboy magazine, gave money for the people like Gloria Steinem and others to promote the ERA. In this same interview, Gloria Steinem is talking about pornography, and she decides that she will rename pornography erotica. So she renames pornography erotica, and I won't walk you through all of it. It's really sort of nauseating to hear her justify pornography. But I just want you to know that Gloria Steinem thinks that pornography is okay, and even maybe it's good, as long as the women are in charge of it. Now go figure. I've got news for Gloria Steinem. The pornography industry is not interested in empowering women or giving them ownership of pornography. In fact, pornography owns women. That's part of what they do. Let's listen to another clip of Gloria Steinem in this interview just a few weeks ago.
The series makes it seem as if women are our own worst enemies, which keeps us from recognizing who our worst enemies are. Not that we aren't in conflict. Yes, we are in conflict. But by and large, we don't have the power to be our own worst enemies.
And this idea of the kind of token woman is often used by the media as well in setting up debates. Is this something that you've experienced? How do you handle that when a media sort of debate seeks to sort of create a catfight as a means of undermining feminist arguments?
Well, that's the problem with this ridiculous television show, which I'm sure the actors in it are fine, but I mean, just the thrust of the story is the problem. So you just have to keep naming it.
The interviewer here asked Gloria Steinem how she felt about the token women like Phyllis Schlafly, and Gloria never really answered that question. They're trying to minimize Phyllis Schlafly, and somehow the argument back in history is anytime a woman succeeded in a conservative viewpoint, say on life issues or on family issues or in fighting ERA, they're a token woman. Well, remember, even in Mrs. America, they showed the movement of women across the country that joined Phyllis Schlafly, and they were lying about so many things. If you look at the record, and again at the Phyllis Schlafly Center in the heart of America in St. Louis, Missouri, we have the Phyllis Schlafly Archive. You'll see photographs of millions and millions of people all across the country gathering for conservative causes. But when you look just at the ERA fight, it's thousands and thousands of women coming together and leading this fight. Gloria Steinem wants to kind of and the interviewer wants to say is token woman. Well, Gloria refused to sort of answer that question. And here's the deal about Gloria Steinem. She didn't even take on Phyllis Schlafly at the time. Gloria Steinem always refused to debate Phyllis Schlafly. Even when Phyllis Schlafly got big, before, and maybe at the beginning of this fight, Gloria Steinem said, well, I'm not going to talk to somebody who's not too popular. By the time you get to the middle of this fight, Phyllis Schlafly is a national figure, and Gloria Steinem, she didn't want to debate her. I think she knew who would get the best of that debate, and so she tried that strategy, and everybody agrees she lost. She came out a loser. Phyllis, on the other hand, was fearless in debates. Dozens and dozens and dozens of moments with the lights on and the questions hot. Phyllis was fearless, and she won. So Gloria Steinem wanted the fame, wanted the attention, wants the excuses. Phyllis Schlafly took the fight, took the debates, and won. Seems like the end of the story to me. But there's more. Go to realmrsamerica.com. Find out more about what we've got. All the archive stuff is up there. Much of it. Other stuff that's written and more specific is in the archives, and people come and see it all the time. And there's more fact checks. So please subscribe to this, share it, and like it. Subscribe right down there and pass it on. We'll be back. We got a lot more to do. Thanks for watching this.